What is up, guys? 10VivMan here, bringing you another exciting Black and White 2 Wi-Fi battle. And this is another battle that I'm going to record of an iPod, and actually the iPod that I used last time to record is actually missing. I have no idea where it is, but I bought a new one. It's a 5th-gen iPod Touch, and it's pretty nice. You can see the camera quality is pretty nice. But anyway, to the battle. This is a UU battle that I had against Tyrant Totodile from the Smogon Wi-Fi Finder. And it's a UU battle, but he brought some lower tier stuff because he wanted a mixed battle at first. But he was like, well, you know what, why not do a UU? So, without further ado, let's get this battle started. And I've been using this team quite a bit lately. It's pretty fun to use, and it's, you know, awesome because it's got free choice to users. Bandit Victini, Scarf Nidoking, and Specs Raikou, which is awesome. Now, he leads off with Shuckle, and I don't want to screw with Shuckle, so I'm just going to trick him in the Choice Band and cripple it right away, because Shuckle's a problem, and I don't want to deal with it right now. So, I'm going to trick him to Choice Band, which is pretty cool. I'm going to steal his leftovers, and he's going to Toxic me in the following turn, which is fine. I really don't mind too much, especially since I have leftovers to somewhat negate it. But, you know, since it's Toxic Poison, it'll probably, you know, it'll build up, but whatever. Anyway, gonna U-turn because I can, and I will. So, gonna switch out, I believe, into my Bronzong because, you know, since he's locked into the Toxic, I can take full advantage of that. Go into my Bronzong to resist it, or excuse me, be immune to it, and I can get up my rocks in the process, which is great. So, yeah. And he's gonna withdraw his Shuckles, and I think he goes into the Nidoking. And, you know, Nidoking's a pretty big threat. Most are, you know, run Life Orb. I'm just running Scarf because Scarf Nidoking is a really nice revenge killer. So, but anyway, I don't want to take a Fire Blast, so I'm going to switch out into my Victini just to take the Fire Blast. Now, I could have brought in my Blastoise, but here's the thing. I kind of predicted Thunderbolt because to him to overprotect and go for Thunderbolt, which is exactly what he does, which is actually pretty nice because Victini takes the Thunderbolt pretty nicely, actually. Because Victini has that great base 100 around the board, so that's pretty cool. And, now I forget some of his team members here because I completely forget he has a Quagsire, and of course, me being the epic guy that I am, I like going for V-Create. So screw going for U-turn. I'm just gonna go for the V-Create as the Quagsire comes in, which is fine, I guess. I mean, no, but here's the funny part. I mean, boom, after the V-Create. But anyway, it does a very nice chunk to this Quagsire. Now, it's kind of sad, because I think if I maintained my band, I probably would have been able to KO it. I'm really unsure about that, but it did so much damage. I mean, that's pretty crazy. So Victini's, yes, definitely a big threat. But yeah, this Quagsire is going to be an issue, because I don't have too much to easily take it on, which is kind of sucky. And, you know, I know I'm still faster even after the V-Create speed drop, so I'm just going to take this opportunity to U-turn and get some more damage off on it. And I'm going to bring out my Blastoise. Now, I really don't know if he's unaware or Water Absorb, but I'm going to bring out my Blastoise anyway just to check if I can take anything from this Quagsire. He turns out to be Curse, which means most likely he's actually a specially defensive set, so that's kind of interesting, actually. I haven't seen a Curse Quagsire in a very long time. It's, you know, it's an underrated threat, but it's just so toxic weak, and it's weak in a lot of other factors, so it's not generally worth it, because the special bulk is kind of subpar as it is anyway. But, I'm actually going to go for the Roar here as he recovers up, which is fine. I really don't care if he recovers. But, because I didn't want to really test the waters and see if he had, you know, if he had Water Absorb, no pun intended, I guess. But, I'm going to roar him out, and he's going to go on into his Heracross, which, I kind of make a stupid play and switch out. Now, I really had no reason to switch, just because Heracross can't do a ton of damage to Blastoise, and it can't really do a lot to Bronzong either. But I decided to swap Blastoise for Bronzong for reasons I really don't know. But anyway, Bronzong takes the hit pretty well. It actually does almost half. I don't know if he's banded or scarfed. I really can't tell from that damage. I'm really bad at identifying sets that I'm not familiar with. So, but anyway, he's going to bring out the Shuckle. And I think I go for Toxic here, and unsurprisingly to me, I miss. So I actually had a couple battles ago, I had a Bolt Strike miss against Victini that cost me a battle, and battle previous to that, I got swept by a Kingdra that hit all of its Hydro Pumps. So that kind of blows. But anyway, I'm rambling because I'm kind of annoyed, and this is the first battle I've had a decent luck, I guess. But he's going to lock himself into Stalfrock, which is fine. I can understand why he's doing that, just so he can get Victini and Honchkrow in a more checkable position. But Now he's going to bring out the Aggron, which was kind of a questionable play, and I really don't know what he was thinking. I guess he was predicting me to spin right there, is my guess. And, you know, I'm going to scald him instead. I'm going to get the burn, which is fantastic. And I really don't know what kind of Aggron this is, but I kind of should have figured this is why he brought it in. It's actually a Custep Blastoise. He is going to, or he's a Custep Aggron, excuse me. He's going to get the Custom Berry activated, and he's going to need to Endeavor me and bring me all the way down to 26 HP. Luckily, I can get the spin off, but that really hinders my Blastoise, and I don't know why I didn't see it coming. That's actually a thing now. It's been popularized by NBZ, so I really should have seen it coming. I don't know why I wasn't. But anyway, Aggron goes down to the burn, which is pretty nice, and I'm kind of speaking a little bit quieter because there's people now. So yeah. Anyway, out comes the Nidoking, and you know, I didn't know if he was going to overpredict or not, but I really didn't care. Blastoise was pretty much death fodder at this point anyway, so I'm going to let it die to a Fire Blast, which is fine, and down it goes. So now, the Nidoking is a pretty big threat, but I figure, you know, even if he's Scarfed, I can take a Fire Blast, and I can bring out my Raikou, and since my Raikou has Choice Specs, I can go for the Extra Sensory and proceed to take this thing out, because, again, Nidoking is a threat, and my camera's going a little out of focus right now, I apologize, but, down it goes to the Extra Sensory, which is fantastic. Humongous threat out of the way, thanks to my Raikou, which is amazing, and, now he's going to go into his Quagsire. Now, since he's specially defensive, most likely, I just had nothing to switch into since my Blastoise is dead. I really didn't want to switch out, so I actually stay in and I go for the Extra Sensory again, because I didn't want to switch out, and I actually catch the Shuckle, which is great, because from this range I can actually 2-hit KO it with Specs Extra Sensory, which is pretty darn awesome. So, yeah, no more rocks for Shuckle, which is awesome. So, down Shuckle goes, and, that's one less big threat I have to deal with. Now, out comes the Heracross. Now, it's blatantly obvious that this thing is Choice Scarf, and I do not want to take an Earthquake, so I'm going to switch out into my Bronzong just so I can take an Earthquake. And if he overpredicts, or if he predicts and goes for the Mega Horn or Close Combat, that's fine, I guess. I'm not desperately needing Bronzong at this point, but at the same time, I kind of am, so I'm kind of like, oh god, that did a lot of damage, so he might be banded, but I really want to say he's Scarfed, because he wouldn't bring out the Heracross if he wasn't Scarfed, so it just didn't make sense. But here I find out he's actually not Moxie, he is actually Guts. So that is very interesting information to, you know, obtain, and I really don't know why he doesn't have Moxie. He probably would have actually done a little bit better in this battle if he actually was Moxie, but anyway, since I'm Scarf Nidoking, I really didn't want to predict here, because that Heracross was a threat. I just wanted to beat it down, so I'm going to go for the Fire Blast of my own and do a pretty nice bit of damage to the Quagsire, which is pretty cool. And, actually, excuse me, the Fire Blast does nothing. What am I talking about? But anyway, I'm going to switch out and go into my Raikou, and you're probably thinking, why on earth am I going into my Raikou? Because I know he's going to Curse, for one, because why not Curse against the Nidoking that's locked into Fire Blast? Even though he probably doesn't, I think he figures actually, at this point, he didn't know I was Scarfed. But I guess he could have figured he could take 2 Earth Powers, which I really don't think would be possible. But, you know, what he doesn't expect is that I have the Hidden Power Grass, which is awesome. And that's exactly what I go for, because Quagsire doesn't want to take an HP Grass, and that's exactly what's going to happen, because he's not seeing it coming, and voice chat was on, and I heard a sigh, so I'm like, yes, trolling achieved. So Quagsire goes down to the HP Grass, and that's awesome. So, big defensive threat out of the way, and he's going to now go into his Heracross, and I'm pretty much forced to switch, because you know, I'm locked in the HP Grass, I don't want to take another hit, so I'm going to switch out and go into my Victini, because it's pretty much death fodder to me at this point, so I don't mind if Victini goes down, as I'm going to get hit by an Earthquake, and down my Victini goes. Now, at this point, if I were, seriously, oh, goodness gracious, I'm hitting the camera, sorry. The iPod camera's all the way to the left, so I'm not used to that, but if he were Moxie, it probably would have been GG by now, but anyway, he's forced to switch out because he's locked into Earthquake, and I forget about Arcanine. I completely forget he has this Arcanine as I bring out my Honchkrow, and this is not the same Honchkrow that I've been using. this is a substitute leftovers Honchkrow. And I've been wanting to try out this set since Honchkrow actually forces so many switches. It's useful to have substitute on it. That way you can actually get some good hits on opponents and actually raise your attack higher. So, but anyway, he's going to go for the Wild Charge as I set up a substitute of -1, which kind of sucks, but it's whatever. And, so for the Wild Charge, and it's going to break my sub, obviously. And I find out he's actually Life Orb, which is pretty good information to have as I go for the Brave Bird. Now, since I'm at -1, I really didn't think this would kill, because I'm -1, and it doesn't kill, leaves him with a very, very tiny smidgen of health, which is kind of sucky, but I know he's going to die to a Life Orb recoil then the following turn, so I'm pretty much forced to stay in and take an Extreme Speed. I know Extreme Speed goes past Sucker Punch, even though that it is what I go for. Since I don't have Roost on this set, I can't go for Roost, obviously. But Honchkrow actually proves how bulky it is. It actually lives a Life Orb Extreme Speed from the Arcanine, which is pretty nice. And I apologize for the music in the background if you can hear that. It's... Again, yeah, I'm not the only one in the house. So, anyway, out comes the Heracross. I think that actually is his last Pokemon. And I'm going to go for that Sucker Punch just to get some chip damage on it. And that's exactly what I do. And it actually does a pretty nice chunk even at -1. So he's going to go for Mega Horn, finish me off. And that's fine. Down my Honchkrow goes. And I think I just have my Nidoking and something else left. I don't recall. But here he figures out I'm Scarfed because I outspeed him when I take him out of a Thunderbolt. So that'll be a good game. Tyrant Totodile. I don't know if you have a YouTube channel. I probably won't post it. But if you see this video, it was a pretty good game. Made an OU battle the following afterward, and I used my Hazard team, which I like using. But this was a fun battle. And if you enjoyed, you feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, do your thing and stuff. Copying from Elo a little bit, because I need some more activity in my videos. But, you know, rate, comment, sub, and that's about it. Later, guys.